manifestation takes time, and I'm going to tell you why. Stay tuned. Greetings, beautiful spirit. Welcome to my channel. It's your girl Charlotte at Charlotte on the Web. And today I'm going to do another law of attraction card. I'm really excited about this card because it's one of my favorite ones. It really talks about, when we talk about manifestation and law of attraction, I think a lot of people, we get in this business where we want stuff instantly. But let me read the card, let me read the back, and then we'll kind of dig into it. And let me, of course, put my glasses on because that's what old ladies do. Anyways, my manifesting thoughts are buffered by time. So let me read the back. It says, your earth is a nice environment for fine-tuning your knowledge. For here, your thoughts do not translate into instant equivalence. Your thoughts are governed by a buffer of time. If you were instantly manifesting, you would be spending more time trying to fix your mistakes than you would in creating what you want. And I think this whole notion of, I love this line where it says, if you were instantly manifesting, you would be spending more time trying to fix your mistakes, because a lot of times we are not thinking, and we're not thinking thoughts that are we're not thinking the kind of thoughts. We're thinking thoughts, right? And those thoughts are not actually what it is we want to be manifesting in the world, right? I just want to show you guys this card real quick. I like this card. It's kind of pretty with the little bee on it. Anyways, we are thinking thoughts, right? And a lot of times we're not even in control of what we're thinking. And so a lot of times we're thinking thoughts that manifest what we really don't want to be manifesting, right? And so thank goodness, right? Because if we were always manifesting what we were thinking, which a lot of times is not what we want to manifest, then we would just be in a state of kind of flux. Now, if you're spending most of your time and energy thinking thoughts that are counter to what it is you want to manifest, then yeah, you probably are gonna, that stuff is gonna show up in your life, and then you're gonna be wondering, like, why is all this happening to me? And it's because of your thoughts, and you're not really thinking about what you're thinking, which is a whole lot of thinking, and you're not really in tune or in aligned with what it is you really desire and what you really want. However, one of the things I find, the truth is this. I have found that I think a lot of negative thoughts. Let me just return this to me, and let me talk about me and not even talk about everybody else, talk about myself. I have a tendency to think a lot of negative thoughts. At least that's what I used to do. And so every now and then I would have a positive thought, you know what I mean? And I remember thinking to myself originally when I was learning about law of attraction and, really getting knee deep in spirituality, I'm like, well, I do have positive thoughts, so why is that not happening? And the reality situation is this. I had so many negative thoughts that when the positive thoughts happened, it was hard for me to appreciate that. It was hard for me to enjoy it. It was hard for me to even, probably in many instances, recognize it. And so what I had to do, or what I did, is I learned to do more positive thinking, right? I know a lot of people talk about, positive thoughts, positive thinking, whatever, but it really does work. And I'll tell you why. You got to think about, let's say you have a cup full of water and the water is clear. So that clear water, let's just take that for example. The water is clear. The clear water is representative of negative thoughts, right? So that glass of water is clear, which is representative of all the negative thoughts. If you put some positive thoughts in that clear water, right? That clear water, which is negative thoughts, you put a drop of red water in there, it starts to turn pink. But notice that even though you've put in a couple drops of red water, it's still predominantly clear, right? Which means that the negative aspect of that water is still majority and most present. It's not until you continue to fill that with the red water that it begins to get redder and redder. And the more red it gets, then that's the representative of the fact that you are kind of infusing in your mind more positive thoughts, and then it will show up in your life. But until you displace, and this really is physics. I tell people, I one of my favorite sayings is, I found God in a physics class. This whole idea of diffusion, osmosis, this displacement of matter, energy, when you turn that clear negative water into positive red water, then you have displaced the negative, and now your water or your mind, your life is manifesting more positive things. But that takes time, and it takes an inpouring of positive energy, positive thought, fam. No amount of, most of us are mostly negative. So we will have to do the work of inpouring positivity into our lives. And it is a step that we won't ever be able to not take. And I know how you feel, because I was like, well, I think of positive thoughts. I want my life to be positive instantly. But what I love about the Spirit is like, look, the Spirit is like, look, we have the tendency to have negative thoughts, right? And so therefore, I'm going to take time to manifest, right? So because we've been mostly negative, and that's showing up in our lives, we're frustrated. We think, oh, negative thoughts manifest instantly. Well, no, the negative thoughts manifested over time, and manifested because that's what we were mostly focused on. And then we get upset when we have one positive thought and nothing happens. Well, it takes time, right? And then also it takes inpouring, and it takes a leveling of the playing field, in that, you're positive, you got to increase those positive thoughts in order to weigh out and push out those negative thoughts. And so that when you're looking at your cup is full of mostly positive thoughts versus negative thoughts. I mean, it's really, and I really love this card for teaching me that lesson that, okay, I'm ready to do the positive thought thing. I really am. And it's going to be a journey, and things take time. And the reason why it takes time, and there's a buffering of time, is because if things showed up instantly, we would struggle. We would really struggle with how to deal with it. And so having that time allows us to kind of ease into the experience, right? And ease into it in a way that allows us to be conscious about it and allows us to appreciate it. So today's card really, if I leave you with nothing else, is that, you don't want to spend your time fixing the negative. What you want to spend your time in, that was another really profound lesson for me too. It's like, don't fix the negative thoughts. Like, don't spend your time on the negative thoughts, fam. Don't worry about it. Spend your time on creating positive thoughts and increasing the amount of positive thoughts that you are thinking, so that you can displace all those negative thoughts. Like, a lot of times I'm like, I'm horrible. I did that wrong. I made so many mistakes. I'm, blah, 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 blah. And then every now and then I just be like, but Charlotte, you did your best. You did a good job, actually. You all right with me. Everything is going to be all right. Those are the positive thoughts that I had to kind of continue to say to myself to outweigh all those negative thoughts that would instantly and kind of habitually come to the fore. So to tell me about how do you kind of transition and teach yourself how to be in alignment with your positive thoughts. Share with me some of your ideas about how you do that, when you do that, and I would love to hear from you. So thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you got a little something out of it, and I look forward to sharing with you more of my thoughts about spirituality. Understand that this ain't meant to be no monologue. I'm not preaching at you, but this is a space for discussion. So please, pretty please, with sugar on top, leave your text or video comments below, because I'd love to hear from you. And don't forget to subscribe and like this video. I'll see you next time, wishing you nothing but peace, prosperity, and a whole bunch of love. Take care now, beautiful spirits. I love you, and